What is up, people's YouTube? I'm the Motorcycle Mick, and we are back again with another live stream with friends. We are joined again by the Norseman and Johnny Roadblock. And yeah, man, we're out here to have some fun. Real quick, what you guys saw this week in Tuesday's video, if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out, is me talking about the part one of the Heritage Wheels saga that I've been going through for about a month and a half, almost 2 months now, of which the bike is still not here. And it's not where I can ride it, and really starting to piss me off. So, yeah. Now we get that out of the way. We are back, and last night, if you guys missed it, Between Two Wheels had another live stream they did, and there was one person they tried to boot out of there, which was not me, because he was dragging on road glides. No oddly specific reasons why he was picking out road glides, but
well, the road glides suck. Everyone knows it.
I don't know. I think the road glide, that's the big one, man, that I think people are still debating about is the road glide. You guys brought it up last night a little bit, but the road glide versus the Challenger, and which ones? I mean, for me,
I have to caveat my statement. I have not ridden the Challenger. I have ridden other touring or baggers of Indians, but I have not ridden that one. However, the look of it is ugly. Like the fit and finish piece. It's like they got 99% there and just forgot to close those gaps.
Yeah, so, like literally.
Yeah. If you look at Harley-Davidson, if you just go look at the road glide or the street glide or whatever, even the electric glide standard, and you go look at that fairing, its fit and finish is perfect. It's that attention to detail I want to see in a manufacturer that's as old as Harley and it's as old as Indian. You know, it's one of those where if they're not taking care of those things, what else are they not taking care of?
Or I mean,
it's attention. It's the attention in the detail.
I think they intentionally did it. I mean, and the reason I say that is because you look back at Victory and the way they had those bikes, and there was a lot. I mean, it was like something that people knew about them. Is it's always comparing the fit and finish, but at the end of the day, it's like the fit and finish is nice. I'm not really a fan of all the matte paint schemes for it. Like then you get the gloss ones, but the ones that most of the dealers are going to have. I will say that bronze you were talking about, that sand looks gorgeous in person.
Yeah,
especially in the Dark Horse edition of it. And I still, the quality level of it, I think, is still great. I think it's, if you want to go with fit and finish stuff, Victory was always known for its sharp edges, where Harley's more known for having the smooth, everything's rounded, like flows together. And I think that was kind of like their homage to it, is like where there's sharp corners and stuff like that. So it doesn't have that look of being like streamlined. Like, I mean, you see a Harley pull up, it's a Harley. You see a Indian pull up, sometimes you got to check the name.
Well, I think for non-bikers, let's just say recreational riders, they may not be able to tell the difference at first glance. But if you're a biker, you definitely know the difference as soon as you, one, hear it, two, see it. Because, yes, it doesn't have the curves. Harley likes their women curvy. Indian, not so much, which is fine. They're owned by a Japanese company. I get it, flat. But, hey, it's all good.
Yeah, someone posted something the other day about Harley being owned by like Yamaha or something like that, or Kawasaki or whoever the hell. Yeah, they posted something. It's like that Harley's got majority bought out back in some 2000-ish time frame.
So here's the thing that kills me about all these rumor mills.
Rumors.
It's so easy to go see it.
Yep.
It's a public company. You can go see all the major shareholders. And I can tell you right now, Honda Motor Company, Honda Inc., or Kawasaki, Yamaha, whoever, they do not own Harley.
Oh, I know.
In any form or fashion.
But
Yeah.
I think that's a problem. Is that they say it like that, where it's most people will take that at face value and then start commenting. Like the keyboard warriors don't do the research; they just jump right into typing. Like their first, the whatever comes to their head, they jump on, and so you get the people that believe in that stuff and that really, yeah.
Where I saw
Well,
this the worst is with the whole birthers for Obama. All those fucking people. And it's very simple. There was not an issue because his mother was an American citizen. That's the only part that mattered. And just like this, Harley's a public company. You can see who the owners are. Just a fucking quick Google search, people. That's all. Just fact check anything you see on Facebook.
But that goes to show you that once again, if you see it on the internet, it's got to be true.
Yeah, where'd you hear that? The internet.
The internet, this is my French model boyfriend. Bonjour.
No, and I feel like stuff like that really can affect people's perception of Harley. I know I've talked about. I mean, I haven't said the name of the show, but I'll say SOA. Like people's perception, I feel like changed of someone wearing a patch of any sort because of that show. And then people automatically think you're just a bad person because like that. I don't know if I want to call it confirmation bias, but like they always thought bikers were bad. But now I know.
That's just because that's how the media and the movies and the TV show, portray them. They don't like. How interesting would a show be if SOA was basically based on, camaraderie, the brotherhood, and charity runs constantly. There was like very little to no drama. There's really no story to tell.
Yeah, and that's what makes me kind of fearful of Harleys in general, is because there's you type in Harley-Davidson just on Google, and every forum, every chat line, every thread pops up, and stuff like with the Milwaukee 8. There's all these issues with the bike. There's all these problems. And then you get the other side saying, "Oh no, I've had my bike for 100,000 miles," but people are going to believe the ones that are bad just because I feel like that's the way humans are programmed. Is if it's bad, it's got to be true.
Well, that's exactly it, and it really comes down to focusing on negative. It's so easy to focus on the negative. Oh, this bike doesn't work. It's got this kind of issue, that kind of issue. I mean, it could be not that all Harley Davidsons have issues. It's just your particular one.
Yeah. I mean, when I bought my bike, I know I got told by everybody, like, wait a couple of years, wait till it's been out, wait till. And for me, it's like, I want, this is the bike I saw, and like, this is the bike I can go on forever with. And that's what kind of bothered me is, I mean, as content creators, it's been pointed out by everybody that, we're always under the eye of scrutiny for any information you put out. So whether it's a learn how to ride video or how to fix your Harley video, if someone tries to do it and they really don't have the ability and they do it and then they try to blame you for it. So I think it's people got to be cautious what they put out. And I think one of your guests yesterday, John Maxwell, does a good point of, kind of talking about that and portraying that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so hard to see all the people that just want. I mean, and mostly a lot of people that do this have twin cams, and they just want to bash on the Milwaukee 8, saying it's like all these issues, all these different things, and try to like push people away from them. And I hate seeing that in the world of riding, just because someone might not trust something. I mean, when the twin can came out, all the Evo guys got pissed, and even though the Evo is still a better motor. But misinformation, I mean, have you guys, I'm sure you guys have seen that before, misinformation from people about bikes in any sort.
Yeah, I mean, did you ever listen to the biker stereotypes episode?
Yep.
That's what it is. That's what it always comes down to, and having to deal with the fallout of being the jerk who didn't go and research it and then you spread it. I mean, how many content creators out there have we seen go and carry on a rumor and then it comes out to be, oh, that's complete BS.
And that's the thing is, I think that's where the responsibility comes in. I mean, if you're going to broadcast it, at least figure out what you're going to put out there is valid and true. You know, and to kind of respond to like the if I watch a YouTube video on how to do something, and like if I'm gonna go wrench on a bike, I'm just looking for. I know that he doesn't have exactly what I got, so there may be some differences, you know. But here's the thing: I know my limitations. I'm not going to sit there and look up a video on how to perform brain surgery, and then go buy myself a scalpel and go to town, and then get sued for malpractice when I'm when I don't know, the guy can't speak anymore. You know what I'm saying?
I think malpractice would be the least of your worries.
Well, I mean, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, I agree there. Maybe some jail time.
Just a little.
What do you mean? I saw it on YouTube. It's all good.
Yeah. Okay. So
That's the thing is, I would never hold the person who did the video accountable for me not understanding my limitations.
I got my doctorates. Where'd you get it from? YouTube.
Okay. Share. If you can. I went ahead and did the research, people. Top 10 owners of Harley Inc. It's all investment companies. There you go. You heard it right here on Motorcycle Mick.
Where is Impala?
I
thought they'd be on there.
Apollo?
Impala. They're the ones that were trying to put someone in there that was younger. They're trying to buy out the company again. I know that you brought that up yesterday on your live stream for Between Two Wheels with one of the big talking points was the whole Rewired situation, which I don't even know where to. It's weird, the wording on it. And are they gonna not branch out? Are they gonna branch out? Are they gonna? Is that Harley's stock?
Yeah.
Damn, dude, I gotta buy some Harley stock.
So look, I agree with Joaquin that a change is desperately needed. I do feel, however, that the direction they need to go is someone who has done a turnaround before, someone who has taken a company and built it for millennials, someone who's taken an older brand, maybe a blue chip brand, and made it more profitable in the millennial markets. That's what they need. And maybe Joaquin can do it.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to get into thinking about that though, because turning a clothing shoe brand around is one thing, but Harley is still a hard sell. I know one of the people watching your live stream commented last night and said that it's like Harley's not what it used to be, and it's kind of losing touch. Which I don't know. The wording in there kind of made it sound like they were going to go with producing, concentrating on the bikes they already make. But
I actually still have the slide I can show you.
Oh, he's got the slides.
And cue the slideshow.
Oh no, he had a whole slideshow and then he read it like a book on tape. It was awesome.
There you go.
Yeah. So this is the Harley Rewire stuff. And if you don't know what Rewire is, it's kind of like Harley kind of hitting the brakes and taking a step back and like really revitalizing the company and making sure they can make the best product they can. But Joaquin Zeitz is the gentleman who took over after Matt resigned, which
Well, when Matt was resigned.
oh yeah, we all know that. I literally after that happened, I was like, I put Harley fires CEO, and on that video, dude, I got so much hate from people being like, "No, he resigned," and like what it came out like a month later where it talks about.
Oh my god, he was voluntold.
Yeah, I know, but like I was laughing, dude, because I actually made a video as soon as I heard that talking about how he actually got fired, like he didn't get let go, he didn't resign. And then it came out in the paper, and later on that it's like, oh yeah, he was fired. They just wanted to. It's like you just don't get like resign as CEO.
Well, here's the thing, and a lot of people don't realize a CEO is a contract employee of the company, or he's working or she's working under an employment agreement. So
They have contracts.
yeah. So when they are let go, unless it's for like gross negligence or something, they're going to be resigned. So the board will come in and say, "Hey, thank you, you're done." And that's all it is. But the press release will always say, "Oh, they're resigning to take on a new opportunity or to spend more time with family and friends or some bullshit that
No, nobody ever gets fired.
not at that level."
No.
And I when I was working in physical security, I walked out as CEO, super nice guy. But yeah, like that. I got a phone call saying, "Hey, we need you in the office at 7:30 tomorrow morning." I'm like, "Okay." And at 7:25, I get another phone call saying, "Are you there?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm right here." Like, "Okay, the CEO is being terminated." I'm like, "Shit."
Well then,
We didn't see that question that popped up. So Flip said, "What millennial is going to give him 30 grand for a bike?" Yeah, I think that I think it's more Gen Z is what they should be. They should be targeting.
Well, millennials are my age.
It's
So 37, 38-year-olds.
I'm
Where
technically a millennial, so
Well, I don't know when the Gen Z actually kicked in. Was it 97, 98?
I think Gen Z was 98 or yeah 98.
Okay.
somewhere around along those lines.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know.
that's
How do you market to those folks though?
I think one of Harley's failures was really design. I mean, I know it's going to be completely against their company, but they've been kind of breaking that. But if they made like a Honda Grom, I know Harley used to have little pit bikes and trail bikes, but if they made like a little Honda Grom type motorcycle and could put it on the market for like a steal for like $2,000-3,000 brand new, I think that would sell a lot more in like cities where people are able to ride in between, like lane split and filter and everything like that. Because I
So,
mean, as a daily bike, a Harley's not going to be a filtering bike.
so I have to ask this question though. As someone who owns a higher end Harley, like, the Heritage, Road Kings, and, Limiteds and shit, do you not feel that if Harley produced something like that, it would cheapen the brand?
I don't know. It's one of those things where I think it could go either way.
Because isn't perception reality? If they start seeing that Harley's putting out $1,000, 100cc pit bike.
I don't know though. Just for the fact of it could also be seen as a way to actually get people into riding. So if a dad wants to buy his kid, let's say his first bike to ride back and forth to school when he turns 16, you know, if you could get him a brand new bike and it's a Harley, that brand name goes a long way. And I think
it does, but how I would think they'd have to make it to where it's zero profit. Because if they're putting
I think
the Harley Davidson name on it, it's going to have to live up to specific standards. You know, the all steel frame, you know, the way everything's put together. I mean, they're going to have to live up to that if they're going to have the Harley Davidson brand on it.
oh, and I don't. That's why I said like $2 to $3 grand, because you can get a brand new Street 500 for like what 6 grand for a Street 500, just a regular old bike, and that's brand new. I mean,
Are they selling the 500 still?
well, I think they have some of them that they're still selling, but I don't know if they're making any new ones. But that's what I was saying is like with that on there, like going back with that on there in mind, is if they could sell it for that, which I don't know how much money they're making on the street, but I think something like that could be beneficial in cities. I mean, the bicycle would have been a great idea for cities because that's probably one of the places you're going to sell the least amount of Harleys. Is not like outskirts of a city. I'm saying like downtown. If someone lives in an apartment down there, you know, something they could roll into their building, take up on the elevator with them, and put in their apartment.
I mean, you could do that with the Road King.
But yeah, I mean, I think I think with the bicycles, Harley had a different mindset that people weren't seeing because of the value of it. So it's like you get Jimmy John's delivery guy can afford a Harley bicycle that's electric that he doesn't have to really pedal. Then he's gonna want to get it, or he can get the electric scooter looking thing. You can ride them on the sidewalks, but it's a more comfortable ride than having a bicycle seat right up your butt for 12 hours a day.
I don't know, like that'd be like no different than like Cadillac coming up with like their, just like a Chevette version of the Cadillac. And Johnny, you bring up a very good point. That does seem to like kind of cheapen the brand per se. But I mean, if you're looking to cater to millennials and not spend 30K on a bike, I mean, give them a little more option for if like a full, because don't get me wrong, Sportsters are motorcycles like anything else, but like most of these millennials are a lot bigger these days. They're bigger. The Sportsters are just not, not their thing. Find something that's like a base model that doesn't cost 18 grand. That does fit the budget.
Well, and I think that I don't know if they actually gave it a name. So Johnny pulled up a picture of a bike yesterday. It looks like a sport bike. I think it's just a Harley called a Street Fighter type motorcycle.
It's a cafe racer
Or a cafe racer. And it looks like a sport bike, which I think is pretty cool. It's still got, the Harley kind of thing, but when you look at it, the rear wheel and
It's
everything.
a lot more sporty.
No, it looks like they brought a Buell back to life kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
they did a good job.
They did. It looks beautiful. But once again, something like that could sell really well for Harley, but at the same time, what is the price of it going to be? I think that's one thing that always haunts Harley is their price.
Well, and that's exactly it, because you start looking at like the way you market things, right? Like that's a gorgeous looking bike, and it is like a very, very Buellish type design. But the thing is you're gonna look at that, you're gonna see the badge on it, you're gonna assume, because Harley has always been infamous for higher pricing. So you take a look at that, and I'm thinking that right there is going to be probably like 18 to 22.
I think for it to sell, it's got to be around like the 8 to 12 range.
Yeah, I was going to go 11 to 12. So we talked about this, and I don't remember if we talked about it on this show or not, or if it's just from the podcast, but when we were talking about bringing in the right CEO, we need to bring in the guy who started Scion at
Yeah.
Toyota.
Yep,
And look,
that would be a good choice.
this bike belongs in a kids class. You know, the younger adult class, and have its own brand, something that is not Harley Davidson, but it's something by Harley Davidson.
That was on the podcast. I remember that because then Justin said there'd be a bunch of Scion FRSs and XBs driving around or something like that. Because you guys specifically brought up the little box car because everyone fucking knows it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they were very distinct, and yet they were still a part of Toyota with the same dependability for motor-wise and drivetrain and everything else. The only difference is the price point was that much cheaper.
I absolutely hate that badge. I pointed that out yesterday. I think that badge looks stupid on there.
Yeah.
It doesn't really fit with the bike.
It's the same one they put on the Softails. Like just
Yeah.
the Softail Slim had that badge on there, and some of the old Dynas had it. But yeah,
You ought to check out Bike and Bird's Instagram. He re-rendered this and he put in the black, updated that, fixed the exhaust. He did a really good job on it, on his render. So if you haven't
Yeah.
checked that out, you ought to.
yeah, go check out Bike and Bird and his YouTube. If you like his content, hit that subscribe button. He's maybe a little bit bigger than me, and he's a lot of bigger than me. He's a real. I'm here. I don't know.
I think he might be like 28, 27 times bigger.
Yeah, literally, dude. When I started watching though, he only had like 8.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you this, Mick, you are closing the gap.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hey, it's a grind.
It is. It's a constant grind.
Yeah,
And
you know, it took until last week for the Between Two Wheels YouTube channel to get 1,000 subscribers.
damn.
You know, it's just a grind.
If a year ago, if I thought I would be on 1,000 subscribers, I would have thought not. And then I just kind of hit my point where I started growing pretty quick. And I mean, it seems like once you get past 1,000 and you got sponsored or ads on your videos, YouTube's like, you're going to the top of the list because we make money off your ass.
Yeah, I mean,
No. At the end of the day, it's a business.
It is.
yeah.
Wow, we get sidetracked. Anyways,
Yeah.
it does something that's weird about this bike is just kind of looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
Is if you look at the brakes on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can also see they went back to chain drive. Kind of throw that one out there.
Yeah. If if their bikes have a chain drive on there, I would be shocked.
It just
But-
looks too big to be like a regular. I don't know. Oh, it's a big tire.
That's usually why you end up going to chain, because you're trying to squeeze as much rubber under there as possible, but still stay within a parameter for that swing arm.
I think to be built.
You can get yourself at least another like 3/4 of an inch of rubber.
Oh,
just converting over to chain drive.
I just noticed something. It's gonna be like the FXDR. Wait, dude, that's the FXDR rear fender. That is.
Yeah.
I just noticed that's the FXDR's rear fender. Because I started looking at the top of that passenger seat, and the FXDR had the little removable cap, and it came with a passenger seat.
We'll do a side by side. Give me just a second. I got you, buddy.
I get excited. Yeah, see, Wind Reaper, right there. I think the badge is absolutely wrong for the bike. Yeah. And Patrick
Agreed.
says, I don't think it looks like a Buell. It looks more like retro to me, like a beefed up tracker. Oh. Real quick too on this, why he's pulling up that side by side. In here tonight, we had the flipping. It is the fucking FXDR rear fender.
Yep.
It's pretty close.
I actually,
That's damn close.
I just looked at that and it clicked in my head. Real quick in here, we have Patrick Hedrick, Jiggy Fly. We got Flip in the Blue Mule, Wind Reaper. All in here right now. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're on any questions, feel free to ask. And we just discovered that the new Cafe Racer uses the same fender as the FXDR.
It's not the same, but it's pretty close.
It just looks like a stretched version, like they didn't cut that the end piece off.
The frame being different.
Well, I'm looking at the lines of that fender, though.
Yeah, I agree that it's close,
Yeah, lines are similar.
but it's not the same. This is all one piece.
Oh no, that's actually looks like that whole that. I wonder if that's gonna be removable and have storage underneath it. It does, dude. Look at that. It's got storage underneath the seat.
Well, that's probably the battery box.
I bet you above that though, I would think it would have some sort of storage on there. I don't know.
Maybe up here.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I hope they make a little trunk for that bike. That'd be hilarious. Little sport bike with a trunk. I mean, I think Harley's
just put a pizza box on it.
I think Harley's got their ideas right for the bikes on the styles, except that one. Their freaking flat track joke. The fat track bike. I can't even, I'm not even, that don't even pull. That hurts the eyes. That is a brain sore to look at. Because
I'm not gonna do that to your fans.
I'd get demonetized right away just for the ugliness of that picture. That color, dude, that color is actually pretty cool though. That like
it is.
Which color are you talking about?
Oh Jesus, he did it.
You.
He did the on the between the two wheels, just looking at it and like the things that the wheels are cool. I'll give it that. But
that's about it.
Yeah, I honestly I think it would look better with dude. Actually, you know what? Hey, are you able to like put little shapes on your screen or no?
Can I?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, yeah. What do you want
to
see?
Put a black square over the top of that piece above the headlight. Yeah, that's sweet, dude.
Wow.
That I don't know why, dude. That changes the whole look of the bike. It actually looks cool now. What the hell?
Yeah, I'm still not digging it.
I think for a flat track look, I think that is not bad. Because they do have the short exhaust. Like, I mean, their concept was good, but that little piece of plastic, I think, threw me off. I actually think it looks not half bad when you put that black square there. That actually looks a lot better.
That's a Sportster tank on it, isn't it?
No, dude, that looks like it's squared off.
That's the Pan America tank.
Have you seen? I'm actually really excited to get on one of these bikes, and I'm really excited for. Oh, what's up, Donna? Donna Main showed up. I want to see what that infotainment system they have on the freaking Bronx is and the Pan America. I don't know if you've seen that yet or not. How it's got the whole little. So it's got a screen. So instead of where the speedometer is, it's a screen.
Mm-hmm.
And there's actually a home button and all that shit. You can navigate through apps and everything on the Sportster or the Bronx speedometer and the Pan America speedometer.
That's cool.
So you can see like fuel economy. You can see how the engine's running, all that kind of stuff, all pulled up on the screen.
All while riding.
And I think it's going to have different modes too. I'm guessing if they got an infotainment system, or I don't call it infotainment system, but if they got that speedometer, I feel like they're going to have some sort of way to switch the modes to it, just kind of like the Livewire.
I mean, Dakota Digital has been doing that for quite some time, where you can pretty much pick and choose what you want to see. I think this is just a more productionized version of it.
That makes sense.
Which, don't get me wrong, I really like Dakota Digital.
I don't
I
know.
do. I just don't like their pricing.
Their pricing, they're definitely pricier than anybody I've ever seen. But I can tell you, they're
What's up,
they
Craig?
got a really nice product.
Oh, I'm
Did they have a? Oh, sorry.
the fact they've been in business as long as they have. That's how you know that they have a quality product, right? The
Yeah.
I'm just looking at it. When when have they broken even on their R&D costs for some of their products?
Yeah.
I mean, $1,000 for a Road Glide gauge set, that price hasn't changed since 2009 when I first tried to buy it. So I don't know. I mean, for me, it's obnoxious that over 11 years the price hasn't changed.
Yeah, well, it kind of begs the question: were you being overcharged then, and now it's just market value?
I think in '09, the technology was still pretty new. So I kind of understood the price tag because they started to cover all their R&D costs, but it's the same gauge from back then that they're selling today, and it's $900.
No.
I mean, I would think those LED lights probably have enough dust in there to catch them on fire.
It makes me wonder because I don't know, does Dakota actually make a smart dash now? Because it's got like they showed the controls, so they moved all the on the Bronx. They moved all the controls for the blinkers and everything to one side, so it's gonna be a single switch now on that. But also, it's gonna have it shows a home button on it. It shows selector buttons and a home button, and something supposedly it's gonna be able to play music or something like that. I don't know what the deal is with that, but I'm really intrigued to see what they're gonna do because I mean that's something you can upgrade to on like a Heritage or something like that, or like a Sportster. I think that'd be really freaking cool.
Okay, so yeah, their new stuff, it's programmable through an app, and but it's just more around like the color options.
You talking about color, like display color options?
Yeah.
So is that is that the new one that's coming out on the Bronx or whatever they want to call these line of bikes, the Revolution bikes?
Well, this is just on the for touring bikes.
Let's see.
So that looks to be the only thing they have for that.
Let's see. We got, yep, that's what I wanted. There we go. All right. So if I go to StreamYard, I hit screen share, share screen. Cool. Share. Cool. There we are. What? How do you not do that? All right. Can you guys see that?
Amateur.
Can you guys see Can you guys see the Bronx or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you go down, it says Fight Club, blah blah blah. All the cool pictures of someone riding it, and we get into the real pictures, and that's what I'm looking at right there. It's got the home button, it's got this display, but it's got all these selections right here, and it looks like it has a cycle, and then it's got like some kind of media or something button up top. So I'm kind of wondering what this screen is going to be. And
Well, that's going to be just your display, right? So over here, if you notice all of these different things, so if I remember right from IMS, they were saying that this one's going to have ride modes. It's going to have like the traction control stuff. Um, so you'll have that, and you'll probably have the ability to set up your gauge, kind of what you guys were saying earlier about customizing that.
Mhm.
I'm hoping that they have. I mean, it would be cool though. I mean, like I don't know how if they're gonna do something kind of like what Ford did, and I guess Chevy did too, which was being able to, if it's you're buying the bike for your kid, you can give them a certain key to it or a certain thing where it unlocks only a certain amount of power, or if it's just going to be, hey, you can select your riding mode if you want to, you know, because I mean, if I was a parent, I was going to buy that bike for a kid. Let's say it was priced right. Want to get in their first bike, but want to be cool.
Magnet.
I would definitely jump on that. I mean, but I'd also want to be able to make sure you couldn't go, you know, like they don't exceed their their riding ability while on it.
Like
I have
where
a, I have a strong
with the,
suspicion that Bronx is not going to be made for a younger rider.
It's going to be more of an experienced rider bike.
Yeah.
When I rode the Livewire, that was a different experience because yeah, when you switch the riding modes, you definitely felt it. And I mean, like when you're just in regular riding mode, when you hit the throttle, it gradually goes up, and then when you put it into sport mode, it turns into the demon of death.
Hmm.
So
it's actually pretty cool that you can do that. You know, I don't know. I appreciate the fact that like, you know, if you're just gonna be out and about and you just want to tool around, that you can do that, and then just switch it up when you know you want to go monster. You know,
yeah,
it just I don't know. It gives it a little bit more of like a how do I want to put this? Kind of like, you know, sports car feel.
Hmm.
You know, and that's something I could definitely like appreciate, and that's something that I don't know would be like a bit of a selling feature, at least for me.
Yankee Texan says I had the DD dash in my Rogue Glide special. It's confusing.
They are a little cumbersome to operate. I had one on my bobber, and I'm telling you, it took me a minute to get used to it, but like once you were able to like kind of scroll through things, it wasn't actually that bad.
I would just like to point out that I do also. So Yankee Texan also asked Mick, I'm thinking about riding tonight. You? Oops.
Ouch.
It does hurt, but I also have 2 motorcycles.
Oh, burn.
So I still ride. But yeah, so by the way, I replaced that shifter linkage bolt on the Sporty, and it fell out again.
Yeah, you
I want
bring
to
that
go.
thing over. Just bring it over. I'll fix it for you.
I gotta make. Well, I can get it. I just gotta find the right bolt for it, man. Because I want to
Get
put
some
a
JB Weld.
Dude,
I want to put
dude,
a through bolt with a nut on the backside, so I know it's definitely not gonna fly off.
dude, do me a favor. Bring that thing over, and I will fix it. It will not come out.
I mean, I already look like I have Parkinson's when I'm riding that freaking bike.
Well, you don't have that Parkinson's.
And then I'm sitting over here like, again, the hair. Like honestly, I've never realized how spoiled I was until I like jumped on the Sportster and back on the Heritage real quick, like just swapping bikes. And I got on the Heritage and it was so smooth and like clean, and like the power was just where it needed to be at. And the Sportster is just like, I'm gonna I'm gonna freaking break the neck of your fucking life. That Sportster, like even a 1200 Sportster tuned right, will throw you back in your seat and it's fun. I mean, that's the point of them.
Yeah. I
But
mean, that really is to go out there and just, you know, be able to like take something that small and just throw it around a little bit.
Jiggy Fly asks, anyone seen the execution of shooting video of the MC president in the Bronx, New York? Nope and nope. Not gonna touch
Can't say
that.
I have.
I don't feel like I want to touch that.
Who is the dominant club up there in y'all's neck of the woods?
I prefer not to
Outlaws.
say because it depends. on who you ask. I
Oh,
think that
so there could be 2 dominant clubs.
I think if you're talking about like the 2 majors, I want to say that on the East Coast it's going to be the Outlaws. On the West Coast it's going to be Hells Angels.
Coast
West Coast,
of
West Coast, East of the United
United
States.
States
Oh, okay.
of Lithuania, actually.
Well,
Of
I'm
Lithuania.
just clarifying because I was
The-
talking about in the Michigan area where you guys are.
Michigan area, it's definitely the Outlaws.
Because aren't the Outlaws out of
Illinois.
Chicago as well?
Chicago. Yeah,
That's I've
that's where they
actually
were originally founded.
Yeah.
I've actually seen that, but
Yeah. So
Ashley's family's from Chicago.
I think the Outlaws kind of start losing because I know they have Florida pretty well locked down. But I think Georgia's still a pretty big toss up between them and HA. And then into the Carolinas, it's in Virginia and stuff, it's gonna be HA.
Yeah, I don't really pay attention to that stuff.
Back in the day when I was in an MC, yeah, I had to.
I mean, I do, but I don't, kind of thing.
I'm still trying to lock down an interview with the San Antonio Banditos president.
That'd actually be pretty fun. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, Texas Banditos are pretty big.
Yeah, it's their global
just
headquarters somewhere in Texas. But yeah, I've been trying, man.
That'd be a pretty cool interview. I mean, it's it's not like it's one of the oldest clubs in the United States like us. Anyways,
well, let's just say in Michigan.
Well, it's one of the oldest in the United States compared to, and
it's definitely one of the oldest. But
it is the oldest Harley club in Michigan. Just
okay, we'll just leave it at that. Yes,
I did research and I talked to people.
You do what you do well. Research and talking.
No, they still do. Muskegon and Lansing both still do hill climbs. So I was going to go check one of those out this summer. So our club started with racing. We actually had a bunch of racing, and someone found a ticket in a barbershop in California for our hill climb in 1928.
Yeah, well, I mean, the history kind of goes like this. We can trace back to, I believe, like 16, 18. A little more official around 1921, and then 26 was when we actually got AMA chartered.
Yeah, the AMA kind of screwed things up.
It happens. Nobody's perfect.
I don't know, man. I still want to take a big trip, which I'm really excited, looking forward to this summer. After all this gets over, because I got an extra week of vacation from work, so
Nice.
I'm gonna be taking a nice trip somewhere because I want to go see shit, man. I want to be able to hit the open road for a set of time and go. Wind Reaper says, my dad used to live next to the SOS clubhouse back in the day, and he rode a Honda. Some days were rougher than others for him. then Jiggy Fly comes back with, I'm a member of the Sons of the Dollar Shave Club.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah, me too. I haven't gotten a box in once.
I'm sure that's something I'm gonna have to address someday, is like being in a club. But I don't even see in the foreseeable future that being a thing. I mean, we're not. It's not hiding anything. It's just like you like to keep certain parts of your life separated from social stuff, and
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I just
I'm
want
just
to
gonna
be.
say this: it's a lot easier to live one complete life than live separate.
It is, but
Separate partial lives.
Yeah,
That's some fucking wisdom, man. You
it
know,
is some wisdom.
thank
thanks,
you.
man.
Thank you. I am ripping that off.
And now the motorcycle mix version of "fuck that guy." Shout out to Uncle Ken for starting it. Fuck that guy. But
Well then,
I don't know. I
Sit y'all
don't think
down for a minute.
I don't think it's separated by in that certain sense. It's just it's one can add more stress to the other, and making content on YouTube is already stressful enough as it is because you always want to make something, and then when you have a plan for something that doesn't work out for a very long time, very very long time, fucking wheels. Anyways, it's I don't like to add stress to different parts of my life. I mean, I don't know about you, Johnny, like being one that's more experienced with content creation than real. I mean, really, I could say I am because I mean, I started back last April actually, and actually end of April I started making videos, which is depressing because now I look back and April back then was actually warm and nice. But I mean, I'm all self
and yet here we are.
editing, and I'm still trying to figure out how to make content better. So I want to better myself, but also I don't really want to try and mess with 4K. I think that's just over.
I don't need 4K, do you?
No, I find 2.7 does fine. You know, it takes half the time to render as a 4K video.
Here, do you still shoot in 4K though?
No, I shoot in 2.7K 60,
Hmm.
which I know I could go down, but
So if you shoot 4K 60, yes, it's going to be lot bigger, but you can render it down at 1080 and then you can actually set up some pretty cool shots and you can actually kind of have a crop in effect and recenter your or reframe your shot.
it doesn't
By the
really.
way, I'm a huge Peter McKinnon fan.
Yeah,
So
I watch. Wow, I suck. The guy Casey Neistat.
mhm.
He's got a lot of good stuff like that, and then there's another guy that's like he always has videos of GoPros, videos of editing and stuff like that. He always does something crazy. What's it? I can't remember what his freaking name is, but I watch a lot of that stuff because it's you can only watch so much motovlogger content in one day before it's like even my own stuff, dude. Like my own videos will pop up and I'll like go to something else, which is bad, but you know when you stare at a computer screen for hours, but then it's more fun to look back on.
Yeah.
Just nonchalantly pops back up with a
Pops up with a
pink
flame.
torch.
That's no
No,
questions. That's no lies. As long as you don't hear any screaming, we're good.
that means you got him gagged right.
You taught me well.
No, I know that being a Harley motovlogger is a very niche market within a niche market already. Because most people are going to watch. I mean, you ask someone motovlogger and they're going to say, I mean, Blockhead might come up, but really they're thinking like Walterific, they're thinking Dank Wheelie, they're thinking Suburban Delinquent, they're thinking of, you know, Fooligan. Oh, there's Wigsley. Finally showed up.
What's up?
What's up, man?
What's up, Wiggs?
I got it figured out.
Congratulations.
Nailed
I'm
it. He was
amazing.
he's
Thanks.
having some Apple problems. Must say computer problems, but I don't know. I guess the iPad Pro is a computer.
It is. I like mine.
And so on top of that too, Wigsley just got a video. Is his Softail or not Softail? Fucking, it is a Softail, but it's
Come
wow,
on,
it's a lowrider.
words.
It's a lowrider standard. Son of a bitch. I don't know why I can't even think right now. Probably because 98% of something. But
You're only at 96, bud.
it just keeps going up the more I hit it.
What are you yelling at me about? What bike?
And you don't load that.
Oh, your lowrider S or lowrider S. Your lowrider standard video. They hit 15K.
Yeah, I had a video hit 15,000 views today. Woo.
Congrats.
Nice.
Thanks, man.
Congrats.
And in the true terms of Johnny Roblox, well, we just hit 100,000 downloads. No, man, like that's the two types of content creation, like doing your show versus like me is like your market is a lot harder because it's like if I'm watching a video or someone talking, I like to like see him riding a bike because I'm looking around seeing stuff. I actually caught a guy getting flashed and he didn't notice it, but I did. I'll let him know in the comments. So that's forever on YouTube.
Nice.
What, titties? Boobies?
Yeah, boobies.
Yeah,
Save
boobies.
the tatas.
Keep on keeping. Outback Outlaw with the same, always doing this to me. Friggin' hit me with the super chats every week, man, and I appreciate it. That's weird.
Hell yeah.
I love that guy. He's an Aussie, so if you like accents, Harleys, motorcycles, he's your guy. But no, I mean with like the two different styles of like content creation, like, and I don't know, like I like listening to your guys' podcast. I just started listening to podcasts, and I remember back in the day, someone's like, "Have you listened to Between Two Wheels?" I'm like, nope, I don't listen to podcasts, and now I listen to a shitload of them. And I don't know, it's like you guys can create content. It's like I'm trying to create content around a bike that still is not here after 2 months. So I don't know, man. Like I that drive you have, I really appreciate. But like, what is something that like roadblock? Like, wow, what is roadblocks you hit when creating content? Like I've seen a couple talk about creator burnout lately, and
So right now, the fact that I can't go and so for me, I don't create content. Most of what I do is live it. So a lot of our topics are stuff that's happened to us or something that's come up that we had a discussion about that we almost had an argument or something around, a good debate. So we'll stop it so that we can go and put that out there into a podcast. But for me, I can't go out and just ride and do stuff. Shit, I'm working from home and working more hours than I did before all this coronavirus shit. So for me, I don't have the opportunity to go out and ride and do all the fun shit. But I'm still trying. That's why we switched over to the live streams. Because I'm not going to waste people's time with a boring podcast. On the live stream, it's a lot more interactive. And to your other point, though, I will say I have more respect for video creators than podcasters. My job is so simple. If I didn't touch the video portion of the podcast, I could have it completely edited and uploaded, ready to go in under 15 minutes. So for me, I think the podcast is an easy way to move content. Video is creation. It's an art. I just talk.
Well, hold on. I just want to throw this out there. Don't sell yourself short.
Oh, I'm not.
Because-
I'm fucking great at what I do.
No, but that's what I'm saying is like I listen to a lot of podcasts, okay?
Mhm.
And like getting like me and my girlfriend are really big into crime junkies. right? Listening about murders, about serial killers, about missing people, you know, and I've listened to a lot of them, but I'm telling you, Crime Junkies is like one of my favorites because of the way they present it, the content that they put together, the way they tell it. You know,
Right.
that's an art in itself because not everybody can do that. Not everybody can captivate their audience from an audio perspective.
So
You
you
know,
bring up a good point. So I lumped
sometimes I do.
I lumped all podcasters into one group. Talking head podcasts, like what we do,
Hmm.
from a workload perspective, it's just a lot easier. Now, yes, the storytellers out there, this is why we drink, and some of the other ones my wife listens to. That part is an art because they're telling a story as if they wrote a short story and was talking through it. So yeah,
Yeah, and that's I mean that's talent right there.
yeah,
Because I think, and this is just my personal opinion. Correct me if you guys you know think otherwise, but like I don't know. I think that telling a story from an audio perspective versus showing people, it's a lot more difficult to do the storytelling aspect of it. The video aspect is just you see what I see,
right.
you know. And I'm not discrediting or playing it down or anything else like that. It's just from a perspective of like me personally, it would be easier for me to do a video and show people what I'm seeing because, as I say, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Where, on the other hand, if I'm doing a podcast, the podcast would be like me just basically telling a story and putting like my emotion on into it, my spin on it, you know, my perspective. And I mean, we all know, you know, eighth grade English class where you had to put, you know, do a like a persuasive type, a persuasive type story. It's not easy to do. You know, it's like I'm not a creative writer by any stretch. Okay, I
Mhm.
don't know how to put fluff into a paper or into a presentation. I am very like data driven, very like matter of fact, and it's just here it is. This is exactly what I see. And there's a lot of talent, and there's a lot of talented people out there that can do that, that can actually like tell a story so well that it's just I don't know, it's just amazing to me. You know, it's something that I can't do.
Speth says you need a writer. I'm your guy. No,
Hell
but
yes.
I think you bring
It's
something
always
up.
good to know a guy.
Yeah,
I,
it's always good.
I think you bring something up good too with like the visuals aspect of it is, you know, perspective and all that kind of stuff. And I think the reason that we as moto vloggers we could learn from all these travel vloggers and all that those kind of people that are getting millions of subscribers and millions of views every month is I think 90% of the time that people are watching a video like that is not for the person always talking, you know, because they appreciate the personality and all that stuff and they listen to them. But it's like the sights and the views. And I feel
They
like,
want to see what you see.
yeah,
Oh,
and
it's all about imagery.
yeah,
And that's the case in video, audio, and written. If you don't have imagery, you're never going to make it.
no, and
And I
and I
think that's and just to throw this out there, it's like people that can go ahead and tell a story to where like it's kind of like reading a book, right? When you're reading a book, you're reading the words, you're translating them into your brain, but you're also playing them in your mind's eye.
yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
and that's something that's really big because if it's descriptive enough, you actually can feel like you're there,
Mhm.
like you're actually watching a movie. And that's why like books are like sometimes so much nicer than movies because you get those descriptions. The writer is pointing you into the direction, as opposed to in video, they're just showing you. And if you pick up on it, great. If you don't, you know, you move on.
but from that same aspect, all right, a great one to use is where we're going this summer. is talking about the Mackinac Bridge, right?
Mhm.
You know, explaining that, like reading that in a story form, someone like talking about it, versus getting to see the wind blowing the bike sideways, getting to see the look down on the grades 408, 500 feet. Like, it's the visual part of it. Yeah, there's that aspect of someone that can describe it and make you feel it and kind of see it.
Mhm.
But at the same time, like, you can experience it with someone. I mean, that's why I like having my camera where I do on my helmet. Is it as close as first person I can get, because it's just above my eye line.
Well, to speak to that, video really is the mixing of all different kinds of media of art, where and it's relative to the work that goes into. Can I tell you about the Mackinac Bridge? Sure. Can I show you a picture while I tell you about it? Does that give you better perspective on it? Yes. Now you add the moving pictures and the skill level, and you have somebody that's going to ride across on a motorcycle with a camera on their helmet, brought a drone, bought a nice camera, and what does it take? 20 minutes to get across the bridge? You're going to be there for 3 hours getting shots, you're going to spend an hour looking stuff up on Google to make a video. You're going to spend 3 hours editing and getting the transition rights and finding the right music to really give a finished, polished product. It's so many more skills than just one. To like what Johnny was saying, he literally did the podcast just like, here's the outline we laid out, here's the things I have to say, now I'm done with it. That's only one of the skill sets, and you can be really good at that, and what you're doing can lend itself to that medium better or more than video, maybe. I find that with most podcasts, the video portion really is just, am I at work and want to listen to it, or am I at home and might as well put it on the TV? And that's really what becomes pivotal for like that format.
Mhm.
But yeah, like to the Mackinac thing, like you're gonna be all day getting drone footage.
Yeah, we will all
charging batteries and shit.
You think you're not getting dragged along on that? Mm-mm.
Oh, we're all
Steve has a
going.
drone.
I know, dude. Like, they'd be
Steve
cool
has
as
a
shit
DJI never used.
cool as shit to have the pack riding across, dude, and combine all that video. Like, different people's perspectives of it. Like, I already have in my mind a shot I want to do where it's just the bridge and it's just me screaming like a little girl, but you can't see me. It's just like one of those cutscenes from an old 90s movie.
You're just like a little. You're not even like a dot on there. You just see the bridge with no
Yeah,
motion, and
that's
then
the
you
whole
hear.
yeah.
Whee!
He's like, ah.
Dude, I say you do it to the music from Full House, like how that opening like opens on the Golden
Oh
Gate
yeah.
Bridge. Do like, and we'll like all find a front yard to like sit in nicely,
Yeah.
and smile.
Senior pics.
Dude, that'd be the
I will
best
say-
thing ever.
I will tell you this though, it is actually kind of like impressive, just like the mere fact of like if you look at the technology, and how far it's come to where you can get these type of shots, like with having like a drone that has a follow feature, that you can literally just launch it and then hop on and go and just know that your battery pack only lasts X amount of time. But you can get like some incredible footage that normally wouldn't have been available without like some serious money.
Well, I mean, you can
You
use
know,
I've seen people use 360 cameras kind of the same way. But you look kind of like an asshat when you got a fucking pole strapped to your back of your bike with a camera on top of it. But then again, content is content.
I'm just thinking about the whole Mackinac Bridge. Wiggs, you're saying it takes about 20 minutes to cross it,
It's 6 miles. It's 6 miles
guess.
long.
It's a guess,
And-
yeah.
and drones typically has what 15 minutes of
Oh,
battery?
dude, no, a drone wouldn't survive the Mackinac Bridge because of the
Well, what I'm
winds.
saying is the video creator mindset. If you're going to do it, you're going to go up to the bridge. You're going to stop. You're going to get footage with your DSLR. You're going to pop the drone in the air. You're going to pop the drone in the battery charger in the backpack. You're going to do the ride across. Then you're going to get off. You're going to make sure that battery's charged up. You're going to pop the drone back in the air. It becomes, when they say whenever you do anything, if you're going to do it on video, expect it to take 3 times as long. And that's definitely true. Like, for instance, like I have learned that I hate doing like install videos. And I love working on my own bike. I love the feeling of accomplishment of I did that. I didn't have to pay somebody to do it. I figured it out. But I love making video, but I've learned that it just takes something that should take an hour ends up taking all goddamn day. You're changing
Or 4
batteries and
weeks.
SD cards, and you're framing the shot just right, and you're forgetting things. I get too high for that, dude.
Well, and I think just to throw that up, just to kind of add to that, you do run into, because I'm still putting together, like, I got all my footage done for my first video, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just basically in like an install video for like a radio into a fairing, because I ended up getting a new radio. But like something that could have literally taken me like 2 hours, like took me way longer than it needed to. And a lot of it was also because like you're so concerned about getting that shot and just getting everything, situated so people see it and understand it, that you're actually forgetting about like what it is that you're doing.
Yeah.
Like I just found myself like running into the problem where I was like really like focusing more so on the shot versus like crimping connections.
Yeah, you need a cameraman is what you need.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody watches Chase on Two Wheels channel, but he does that wrecked bike rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
And it's him and two dudes, and one dude's running around with like a big Steadicam thing on the whole time. And his videos look dope, but I don't think it's taking them 5 times as long to do things as it normally would. It might be because Chase doesn't like know anything, and the other dude has to teach him.
Yeah, and yeah, that is one problem. That thank you for stopping in, Bell's Rides Moto. So I got to roll. I have a scale coming to the house. Damn. Thank you for stopping by. But what I was saying is, I think you're right, man. Like you can get caught up in and honestly, when I was putting all the shit on the Sportster, I realized that. And I'm just like, I've already done an install video for blinkers, so I don't need to do that on a Sportster because it's the same on all Harleys. I did the exhaust wrap. I already did something on. I didn't change. I ended up changing the handlebars, and the Memphis Shades fairing is going to get a video about it. But it sucks, man. Like stuff that you like. I think Johnny said it perfectly earlier, where it's like I live life versus like I experience life versus looking through the lens, and then I talk about it. It's hard, man. It's like when you're living through a lens, I feel like you lose some of. It's cool to look back and see it done, but at the same time, do you really lose the stress relief of installing a part versus having to record it and adding the stress to make sure you get it all right? And if you don't, then you have to either A, restart your work, take it all apart and do it again to the point where you're at, or you just add an add-in on it, do a correction on it. Yeah, he's cooking steaks. They look really good.
Yeah. Sorry, dude. I got like hungry people up here. I'm at the cabin.
And you're not bringing me a steak? You're a bastard. Anyways.
You've been invited up here how many times?
Hey, I am an essential personnel.
Kiss my ass.
I think it all really depends what kind of channel you want to be, or what kind of content you want to create.
I think you really helped me shape my channel better, Wigsley, honestly.
Because don't blame me.
No, I mean like seriously, like watching Wigsley's content versus mine, where he's just like, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and that's it. And I was focusing so much on the content itself that I was losing sight of just having fun, and that's what it's supposed to be. And now that I just have fun doing it, I just I know Shade Tree said something about you make content just for yourself. It's stupid, but I still stand by it. Like I stand by you should be making content for yourself, something that you like. Because if you aren't, then what are you just making movies or like doing something that you're not enjoying? What's the point?
If you're not going to enjoy it, there's no sense in doing it. That's my whole theory on this. If you can't enjoy it and it's not fun, it becomes more of like a job, then I don't know, it's whatever you're trying to get out of it, per se.
Yeah, I would say if you want to go to the more artsy stuff, so like all the different
Okay.
crazy transitions and really get into the production side of videos, uh, I think you'd actually do better than a standard motovlogger.
I think
We're right there.
no, dude, no, it catches like Justin Bikenberg. Like he's got some super cinematic shit he does, and it catches my eye. Like
Well, it
Ash.
adds value.
Well, yeah, I was.
That's
Yeah.
what sets guys like him and Blockhead aside, is that they get that drone shot and they plan their day out and are organized and know what's coming and know the opportunities and make the most of them. And you know, you can tell in their edits, like you can tell in Justin's edits, that he really has taken the time to learn the trade of
He's
video
also-
production, like Johnny's saying, and that just adds value to your content when put next to someone else's content who hasn't put in the time.
Well, also he's got a degree in it too. I figured that one out.
Well, yeah, it's a skilled trade.
Like I caught
think
that one day on one of the live streams or like one of the friggin' podcasts where he's just like, "Yeah, man, I do this for a living." I'm like, it makes sense now.
Wait, no, he's a data analyst.
Yeah, but I'm
So-
sure he had to take a
I
lot
don't
of
know.
computer courses and
I'm a
stuff,
big
didn't he?
believer that like you
He
gotta.
So-
Here's the thing: you gotta start with something, and it's like kind
Yeah.
of like pushing the envelope of like what you're willing to learn and things that you pick up along the way.
Mhm.
And I think that like like when you like Mick, think about it like when you started, right? You did this live stream, right? And it was basically you, and your format was set up as such to where you'd read questions, you'd answer back, and it wasn't like any type of like dialogue, right? Would you
Oh,
agree
it-
that this
it
format
sucked.
that we have right now is your format right now is that much better?
I mean, yeah, being able to have other people here to talk about it versus reading questions, the dead air. I mean, I would have a lot of times fuck, dude. The first ones of these I did, I was always on the phone trying to figure out what the fuck's going on with my wheels. So, because like I didn't have the time. I was trying to figure shit out for me, and I don't know, man. There was a lot of dead space, and I saw like I like live streams, man. But the one thing that gets me is sometimes like when you watch stuff, it gets off track, and it's not about bikes. And like I like talking about bikes. You know, that's just me.
Mhm.
I mean, bikes and motovlogging content, things I can talk about, and it works for other people's channels. But for me personally, it's like I love sitting there and talking about motorcycles and about all the different stuff. Doesn't matter which kind of bike it is. It's just I enjoy the conversation and the interaction, and I didn't really have that when this idea first came around.
But that's kind of like the point that I was getting at is the mere fact that you started off with something, right? That was your base. And it grew to this.
I mean, yeah,
And that's what happens when you get more experience, where you start looking at different ideas. Different people have different ideas, and you kind of like take it and make it your own.
well, fuck, dude. Looking back at where I'm at now, I guess my first technical moto vlog is when I had the Sony camera tucked in my shirt, my flannel shirt, with the camera facing down so I could look, and I had to keep worrying about the camera going back and forth. Because before that, it was just all talking head videos. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, thank you, Wind Reaper. It was Blockhead's job is really to graphic design and marketing. That's who I'm thinking of. Not Justin. My bad. But yeah, Blockhead is the one that's got the job related to that stuff.
Mhm.
So it makes sense now. But yeah, I mean, I guess everyone starts off that way. You know, seeing how things start and where they're at now, you never know how it's going to grow. You never know what's going to happen. And honestly, as a motovlogger, are people there, or I guess you want to call yourself a motovlogger, motorcycle related content blogger, are people there more for the motovlogs, or are they there for the other content? You know, like install videos, things like that. Is that why some channels grow faster than other ones? Because there's the install and build series and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, like here, case in point, like who are those guys that basically you could subscribe to them, and it costs like I don't know, like $5 a month or something like that, and it's basically nothing but how-to videos on your Harley.
Oh, the Hog How or whatever.
Yeah, it's like those guys actually took an idea of like taking how-to videos, and then were able to like monetize it, and their channel has like grown exponentially because people want to work on their own bike, and listening to I don't know guys like me, like I don't have a whole lot of like credibility, in YouTube to say that my way is the right way, so to pay to pay the $5 a month, and if you're really like looking to do stuff on your bike, that's like, I mean, it's literally they shoot it professionally, like how-to videos. And how-to videos are not easy to do.
No.
I mean, like you explained it to me. It's like explain it to a 4-year-old.
I may or may not have told him.
Yes,
when
Cole,
he
like
asked-
you.
When he asked me about how to do install videos, I told him to explain it like it's a 4-year-old. May or may not have said that.
Well, I mean, but you have
it
to.
it is true though.
You have to know your audience. I mean, at the end of the day, I could have somebody watching it that's literally about to tear into a $20,000 bike, who has a hard time just differentiating between a screwdriver and a hammer.
No,
So you kind of have to. I mean, I
Oh
can't
my
be held
God.
responsible for people's level of skill set.
I'm about to do one of the. Hey, when we film that exhaust install video, we're doing something ridiculous. I just thought about it, and it's funny as shit.
You're gonna do it in your underwear?
No, I will explain after we are off the live stream because I want people to fucking react to it. I want to get natural reactions.
I tell you what, man,
That's
doing the how to install video on Harley shit seems like a really good idea, right until you hit that first speed bump and something isn't as easy as someone else on YouTube made it look.
Oh,
Yep.
dude, when I was
All
doing,
of a sudden the camera's rolling and you feel like a real dipshit.
Dude, do you know how many times people have told me that, like, what do you mean it's going to take 6 weeks to build a bike? Can't you do it, like, in a couple days? That's, like, what I've seen on TV. I'm like, yeah, it takes 48 minutes to build a custom motorcycle, shy of commercials.
I ran into that with the hard lower install on the Heritage. I was like, oh, I have to get it done. I have to get it done because it'd be the first one on YouTube, and now it's got God knows how many views. But like, I literally was like hitting freaking roadblocks. Like the biggest one was like the attachment to the hard lowers to the bottom of the bike, to the lower part of the crash bar, isn't intended for a Softail style crash bar, which is a little bit smaller than touring models.
Mm-hmm.
The new ones anyways. And so I'm just like, all right, think on the fly. Went and bought some zip ties, drilled another hole there, and zip tied it to the freaking frame, or to the engine guard.
But that's the thing is, then you got people commenting on your videos, basically saying that, oh, you're a shade tree mechanic because you're not doing it correctly. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck those guys.
Fuck those Todds.
And I agree, because let me tell you something. I'm
Those
of
dudes
the
are all
school
named
of thought
Todd.
that if it's stupid and it works, it still works.
We should start the annual fuck Todd ride.
Dude, I'm in.
I'm in. Get shirts that say fuck Todd.
Yeah.
Fuck Todd.
Flags.
Dude, I will post it on that site too because I'm still on there. But you're right, man. Like, it's install videos. I mean, fuck, dude. I know Wiggsley's done so many of them too, especially with the Spookster. And it was like you could see the stress in the camera in the filming, just because it's like I could have had my bike done. It still could have been light out. I could have gone for a ride, but no, I'm sitting here staring at a fucking lens.
But here's the thing.
No, and that's kind of like where it turns to. I mean, if it's like
choice,
if it's somebody else filming you doing what you do, You don't have to worry about that. You know, you don't have to think about that. You don't have to worry about that. You do what you do, and then somebody else worries about how's the shot going to look, or how's this going to go, or how that's going to look. You know, I don't know. It's just it kind of takes the natural. I'm working on my bike right out of it. You know.
I mean,
Kudos to the guys who do it.
yeah.
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 Dude, I feel bad for, like, now thinking about that, I feel bad for John Maxwell. Like, just think about, like, let alone just fixing a bike and stuff like that, but when he does install videos, like, damn. Especially as a Harley tech, because, like, that already works against him. It works for him and against him, because then people are going to be like, well, I watched the Harley tech do it. And it's like, well, he's a master certified Harley mechanic, and you're some bucktooth Joe named Steve from the fucking Boondocks. I don't know why Steve was the first. Probably because Wigsley here.
Wow.
I just keep hearing. No, dude. Literally, in his, like, the one thing I could hear is I watched Despicable Me the other day, and then when it came down to the minion Steve, all I heard in my head was Wigsley going Steve in his fucking voice.
Steve.
Probably because I watched the Club Style Bat Bob video. Go check that
What
out.
did you think of the beginning?
It's good, man.
It's not bad.
It's we're always going to be hypercritical of our
I've done
work as
worse.
creators. Honestly, we're always going to be hypercritical of our own stuff, and someone else is going to be like, "This is the best video ever."
No,
You are your own worst. You guys are your own worst critics.
Hey, dude, this motherfucker's over here
probably
dropping
not
knowledge.
true.
He's literally.
I have haters, dog. I'm very proud.
Fuck
of
those
my
guys.
haters, though.
Hey, fuck those guys.
They're all Tods.
They troll John for using power tools. That's actually that's actually a sad fact.
That's terrible.
Kitty. Yeah, dude, I've actually gone through his comments and shit and seen some, like, we talked about the keyboard warriors earlier. Like, their first thing in their mind is the right way to go. And
Well, it's what their daddy taught them. It's what the good Lord handed down on high to
someone also said,
everywhere, man.
fuck that guy. Like, I hope you get the mid and end of the video ad, you dick.
I just tell them thanks for the view, and I make sure to call them Todd when their name is clearly not Todd, because it bothers.
So wait,
for
hold
whatever
on.
reason.
Hold on. Johnny doesn't know the
Pull another comment out of it. What? Who the fuck is Todd?
Johnny does not know who Todd is. So I will let you
Todd,
explain to him.
I didn't know it all, Harley, dude.
Explain.
Todd's essentially Johnny Roadblock, except his Johnny Roadblock actually didn't know shit, but like had an opinion.
So imagine something ranting about nonsense and then realizing they're an idiot and still trying to fight it.
Well, just like if I make a new video and I post it in like an appropriate Harley-related group on Facebook, there's always some fucking prick
Thanks for coming, Donna.
that needs to be like okay boomer, and I don't like the okay boomer thing. I think it's intellectually lazy, so I came up with my own thing. And it's #thanks Todd.
Well, it's kind of like how Karen got her good name.
Oh, that's racist and sexist, man.
Fucking Karens. We have Todds and Karens, and you know what? They're normally married to each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, Todd was a dude on a Facebook group that was a know-it-all, and the whole conversation ended with "Thanks, Todd."
I don't think there was ever actually a Todd. I would like to dispute that. I don't think this was spurred by somebody whose name was actual Todd.
There was
with like a Steve or a Dave being referred to as Todd and being very confused.
Because at one point there was a Todd then, though. Like, I remember that I was on one of the Sportster groups. There was actually a legit Todd.
Maybe later.
But yeah.
Maybe several Todds in.
So that's where the whole "thanks, Todd" thing comes from. It's kind of like saying you're a fucking douche without them really understanding. Because then they're like, My name's not Todd, and then they're confused, and then they go on Urban Dictionary, and there's nothing there yet. Oh my God, is that true? Okay? I'm gonna do that later. I gotta update Urban Dictionary about Todds. Yeah, I mean, and that's something that we all face though, is the whole creator issues, and I don't know. It's sometimes hard to sit back and not enjoy the world, because there's a lot of times I just don't want to record because I just want to ride my bike. Like when I go get the heritage, right? It's like, am I going to be able to enjoy the ride home, or am I going to be making videos? And it's like my first thing I'm going to do when I get the bike back is take it, ride it home, do the video for it, because I'm going to be excited and want to do it immediately. If it doesn't fucking snow in May in Michigan.
Which reminds me that this weekend is going to be snow.
Once again, welcome to the state of Michigan, along with being on lockdown for another 30 days. Steve. I'll see if he coughs. Is it a good one? No? Is it a good one? He didn't cough. Nope.
Oh, he's coughing. He's got you on mute.
No, there we go. There's the cough. Is he wearing a fucking Bears jersey? Fat boy.
Fat boy.
Nice. He does realize the 96 though is a twin cam, right?
Whatever. Is all your shit perfectly number matched?
No, I don't even know what the fuck is going on half the time.
I'm not gonna lie,
You
that's
actually have a bike.
I do. I have a Sportster and a 18 Heritage.
But do you really have a Heritage?
No, it's actually kind of a myth right now. It's a mythical monster.
Now, when you say girlfriend, you mean?
I do mean. Have you ever heard of the mythical Gen X?
Oh.
That's the funny part, though, is like most people don't realize what they want to call boomers are all Gen X. And that's why it's intellectually lazy, because they don't understand that fucking the boomers are now all Gen
32
Xers.
and my girlfriend's kid called me boomer the other day.
It is quite the misconception.
Mommy, is this your new boomer? He's my step boomer.
I'm 37, so I'd be like grandpa to that kid.
That's bad.
Step boomer.
No, I mean, that's actually just, I agree, that's laziness. Just generational laziness, not to understand what the actual age of people are.
Well, once again, it goes back to people talking about stuff that they have no idea what they're saying.
I just want to get back on the bike and ride. So yes, I do.
We just need to get your bike back.
What's the name? What's I don't know. Like Black Betty just seems kind of plain. I gotta find a B name that means like mythical.
You're gonna have to start digging into the.
I'm gonna go into
the archives.
I'm gonna go into the Saurus. I'm gonna go into the Saurus.
You're gonna have to go into like mythology.
Oh, motherfucker already got it. Johnny Roblox on the spot with Beowulf.
Beowulf.
The very first ever superhero.
Blade.
Should name it Hella.
It's got to be B though. It's the color. Do you guys believe in that? Your bike's name has to be the color. Start with the color. The first letter of the color has got to be the first letter of the name.
Nope.
No.
I did before. I just stopped giving a shit. I actually want to give her a real name. But Beowulf is way too fucking cool not to use.
Beowulf.
It's such a savage name. Who would I mean, honestly, there's some gay ass names like, Spookster and stuff like that, but Steve got it. It's way more funny when he's on mute because it's like one of those silent movies where you know they're laughing really hard.
Why do you have spit coming out of your mouth, dog?
Because I'm a quitter. Anyways.
You said that wrong. You pronounced I meet dudes off the internet wrong.
His bike's called the Spookster. It's actually pretty cool, sporty.
You know, I'm kind of curious. For everybody who's in there, everybody that's in this, and the chat included, what's the name of your bike?
Ooh, I like that one. Patrick, Banshee.
Black Banshee.
I have the Spookster and I have Old Blue.
You're my boy, Blue.
You're my boy, Blue.
So my wife's Road King is named Idris.
I just named my bike with a bitch.
You're what?
My wife's Road King.
She's called the bitch.
She named him Idris.
Like
she likes
Adelpha?
to ride Idris Alba, yeah.
Just like a bitch.
Oh, I get it because it's black.
It's not my black bitch. That'd be racist
And then
and sexist.
my bike.
Obviously, should you be worried with that name?
Well,
Like, hey,
my
honey,
bitch?
I was just riding Idris this weekend or this weekend or this afternoon.
Either way, we're
No, because I'll be the first to tell her, hey, we're taking the bitch out today. She'd be like, okay.
and then
She's
my
strangely
bike.
okay with me taking my bitch out.
My bike came with the name of Road Glide Limited.
That's
117.
how we roll.
Roguelike. What are some stripper names that start with R? Ruby.
Renee.
Razzle.
He just went savage and didn't even know it. Renee's a stripper name.
Renee is a
Easy
straight
guy.
up.
You don't know.
He just
Girlfriend.
his girlfriend's
does
name is
what
Renee.
things, dog.
Wow.
Look, I'm
Just
just saying.
all-
It's like
My
so.
ass wants to be lazy, and I gotta eat.
Oh my god, dude! Like just turned into gold real quick because it's just like a inside joke burn right
Nothing
there. Just the second name. Wait, that was the first name out of your mouth.
Renee.
Up next on the stage, Renee. Like they got Sapphire, Gem, all these other names. They're just like
Renee. Sorry, man. No disrespect.
Ain't no shame in my game, dude.
Right on. Right on.
Oh my god, there's only one left.
I have. So wait, who's the better rider, you or your wife?
I don't know. There's
I
only
would
one
say
left.
from a technical standpoint, my wife.
So you're talking like close riding and all that kind of stuff.
Like correct riding posture and follows the kind of the standard operating procedures for riding. And she can definitely do the motorcycle rodeo courses.
Yeah.
100 times better than I can.
Hey, Mick.
Yep.
I can't hear anybody but you, man.
You can't. Well, Wigsley's muted. You can't hear Johnny talking.
You can't hear Johnny talking.
He's not talking right now.
What?
Well, he was. Okay, now I can hear
What?
everybody. All right.
Hey, Wigsley, can you hear me?
I can hear the fuck out of you, my dude. Actually,
Okay.
you're there, but you're very soft spoken.
Oh.
As he spoke
You
spoke
kinda
slightly
got an
into the
ASMR
microphone.
thing going on where it's lulling me to sleep. Softly.
Roblox ASMR. So now we've got 3 of them figured out. We got Uncle Ken's fuck that guy. Mike and or John Maxwell. There's that.
Handlebars.
And Johnny Roblox ASMR.
Blinkers.
That's dude. I'm sorry. That's the best line I've ever heard. And it's like John Maxwell talks about. I forgot what he's talking about, and he's like, "There's that." So there's that. Like
On the next episode of There's That.
So here's funny. When I posted the title of the live stream, I got a
Comical.
text from John. He's like, "We're not bashing Harley, are we?" I was like, "I don't ever bash Harley." And he's like, I don't want to be part of it if you're gonna be bashing them. I was like, dude, I don't bash them. But
I call what I do constructive criticism.
I didn't give him any context. I didn't even tell the guys what the name of the episode was gonna be. And oh yeah, I was like, damn. So that's when I put in there about time because I was talking about the cafe racer. But it's funny, man.
It's like it's the little things. Like if I like, you know, I wanted to get the opportunity to like be able to meet all the people I talk to, you know, motovloggers, all that content creators and stuff like that. Just because it's like when people act the same way they do outside of the live stream or outside of the video that they would like in regular life, it's what makes it more fun. Like I do shenanigans, whether it's here, whether I'm not recording, anywhere I'm at. I think it's fun just to mess around.
Yeah.
And I think there's that value in there when you have like people can see from the opposite side of it that you're the same as you are on screen as you are out of screen.
Yeah, some folks made that comment at the world record ride when they met us. Uncle Ken and I. They're like, you guys are these same people. I was like, yeah, it's too damn hard keeping up with multiple personalities.
No, it is. I mean, and I when
Once again,
I
going back to living one complete life.
well, yeah, and when I first started making content, I was very filtered. I was very like, you know, I was making stuff that I thought would be popular. And then once I really just started letting my normal personality come out, I noticed I started getting a lot more viewers, a lot more, you know, watch time, stuff like that. Because I was just being myself, like, yeah, fuck that guy. Instead of being like, well, you know, that wasn't a smart decision. Like the two different phrases, it's one person's gonna be like, yeah, fuck that guy too, or like, what is this guy? What is he doing? Why is he such a pussy? Because like I'm all about flipping someone off on camera because it's fun if they deserve it. You know, I don't. My content is not made for kids. I make sure that I click that box every freaking time to let people know like this is not intended for kids.
It is annoying that you can't set that as a default.
It is a default, but then you have to go through on every video. Just like with monetization, it is a default. And then you gotta go every video you put up, you have to personally monetize each one.
Yeah.
It's like I thought this was implied. Like if I said my channel is not for kids, if they need to restrict the content to 18 and older, go for it. You know, where you have to verify your birthday and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I lied about that shit all the time, so at that point it's not my fault you're watching the video. It's whoever your caretaker is, but not my fucking problem.
Oh, Reaper was watching the podcast with Maxwell and did not realize it was live until it was over.
I think you guys are starting those every Wednesday, aren't you?
Yeah, until we can actually do a podcast, you know, it doesn't make sense. You know, with Justin having to socially distance like he does, it doesn't make sense for Ken and I to sit in the studio by ourselves and then have Justin on a Skype call or a Zoom call.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, let's just try, you know, after you showed me this, you know, I told the guys about it. I was like, hey, let's give it a go. And Ken, you know, I loaned Ken my microphone because he didn't have one for his laptop. And then I had my AirPods in and everyone gave me grief about how they sounded. And I was like, well, I'm not going to be podcasting for a while, so I'll bring this mic in here. But, you know, up the game.
Oh, the reason I started there's a two-sided reason I started doing these live streams. is one, I still want to have content twice a week just to keep the schedule I've had for a year. And it did take some stress off of doing 2 videos a week while still working a 40-hour plus job a week. But at the same time, as I do like that interaction aspect of it, where it's like you actually have that time to be able to comment back or talk about subjects with people. And I wish some of the, I don't, if they had the time, I wish some of the bigger motovloggers would do that so that the kids that watch them and like want to get into riding have that time to be able to ask. I know Rurock lately has been doing a lot of live streams with different motovloggers, and they kind of have, it's more personal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was a very smart thing to do on their part, is do like helmet giveaways in the videos and stuff like that, but also kind of get that personal aspect and be able to ask questions to someone that's got, 100, 200, or 2 million subscribers that normally, has the time to check some comments sometimes, but at the same time, if you get 20,000 comments on a video, there's only so many hours in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that aspect of it, like where you can actually have that interaction and have people talk and be involved in it.
Yeah. And for me, it was originally planned that we would do live streams for the Patreon members. And I was trying everything. I just didn't have a computer that could do it the way I wanted. But I never even considered doing something like this.
Where it does all of it for you.
Yeah.
And you go with the paid version maybe eventually, but I mean, for me, I'm not worried about it. I don't use enough hours in a month to, I get 10 hours a month. I use 2 hours each live stream, and I still have 2 to spare. So if I go over a couple times, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And it's free. And I think that's a nice part, is being able to have that interaction, that discussion. That's the one part I really like about it, is you can jump around, get many different views and everything on it, on different subjects, versus like when I started this, where it's a talking head and it's basically a freaking vlog type thing without all the editing. And it's more fun this way too, is because I don't have to have a schedule or like a itinerary, or for you guys, like show notes where you guys have like the general topics and stuff like that, so you guys can stay on track, so you can get your stuff filmed.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like being able just to go, we started at Harley bicycles and now we're at talking about this stuff. I like being able to go around all these different topics that people have, or you have, and have that interaction, because I honestly miss Wigsley. I really do. No, dude, like I have a blast riding with them every time. It's always fun, especially with the Senna's connected. It gets really freaking fun, but some of the stuff has to get cut out because it's too dark or too funny. That
No, it doesn't. Who cares?
I mean,
But,
he's got a valid point there.
well, he cut out the one part in the Michigan Motovlogger meetup where I'm like, yep, we're just gonna get hit on this turn, and I can already hear my funeral music playing. It's the arms of an angel, and like the part where he's talking about getting hit by a car, it just goes to, I can already hear it now, in the arms of an
It
angel.
makes it in or it don't.
And then, yeah, so that same video, we got asked, like, we have all of our Sennas on. The guy we're riding with, which is BZRK, goes into the store at the gas station, and he's like trying to pay for gas, and he's like, oh, what's the conversion from liters to gallons to everyone on the Sennas? Because it already took us like 15 minutes to pair the Sennas to get them working. And the one person with, what did he have?
Pack talk.
Yeah, he had the Cardo.
Yeah.
And
We had a bunch of dudes with centers, and we had one dude with a Cardo, and we're like in a parking lot for like 45 minutes trying to like look up YouTube videos and figure out a way to make it work, and we eventually just had to split without that dude in the chat.
Which is the nice part, is if you have a Senna and it pairs once, it can pair for life. I do have that added benefit, but I am getting a 30K, so.
Yeah, we just got 2 more. We got a couple for the girls.
Yeah, I'm getting a 30K for me, and then giving Ashley the 20S Evo.
Okay.
Hey, something a little off topic. How do those actually function on an open face, like a half helmet?
Well, they got the earmuffs from Harley you can get, which is made by Senna.
Because I'm feeling if we're gonna take this trip up north, then I would like to probably invest in one of those so that I can holler at you guys.
Why don't you just get a 3/4 helmet?
Are you for real?
You could pull that off.
I'm just throwing this out there. I'm not okay, and this is probably the disclaimer, but those who ride decide. This is pretty much my helmet most of the time.
I'm just saying, 3/4. If you're gonna start making content on the bike, it's a lot easier if you have.
If you're gonna make content, you need a full face.
You can still do the half helmet. Fletch Dyna does a great job with the half helmet. It sounds pretty good. But yeah, it's a lot easier. Like if you have the full face.
So, just throwing this out there, if you're going the Senna route and you want to wear a open, like a half shield, why don't you just go with the Senna with the boom mic and then have the speakers like what Mick was talking about, and then on your GoPro you use a Hero 4 Black and you put the Senna backpack on it.
Also too, Senna does make a helmet, a half helmet with the Senna already in it.
I'll have to take a look at that.
It's got in the ear straps where it's got the headset.
Yeah, it's got the headset.
It's got I like to call it the tanker helmet.
Yeah.
They
I'll
also
have
have
to
those.
look into that.
I don't know. I feel like it's fuck, dude. My audio got a lot better when I went from the qualifier to my SRT. Like the quality of the audio improved by 20, 30,000 times what it was. Just because like those oval shaped helmets, it's really hard to record audio in because the mic's already close to your mouth and then you got your freaking helmet right there. So the audio bounces back on it and you get really loud voice. Whereas like with my SRT being more of an oval shape versus a circle, the mic's farther away and I have more room to talk.
Yeah.
Which the SRT is super comfortable. It's even got the cool pilot glasses.
Well, when you come over to do your exhaust, maybe we'll do some online shopping.
Yeah, I mean, oh yeah, that's gonna be fun. I'm still excited to put that new 2-in-1 on my bike. Dude, are you looking to exhaust a 2-in-1 for the Spookster right now?
Maybe. We're gonna see what happens with that. I got a coil that I'm gonna try and throw in it and see what happens.
Well, either way, Dan Moto has their 2-in-1 exhaust on sale right now for like $130.
Okay.
They went 50% off. I bought that Dan Moto exhaust at like 25% off. So, or no, it was $299. It went down to $200. So whatever that is, the math on that.
33% off.
Okay, and then after I bought it, 3 weeks later, now since I've gotten it, they're like, "Oh, we're doing a 50% off sale now." So now it's $149. I'm like, I can't return it and send it back. That'd be way too. I don't know if I don't want to fuck with that right now. after this whole the whole wheel issue, and that new exhaust is already going to take me a decent amount of time to tune because it opens my exhaust port up from 1 inch to 1 3/4 inch.
Well, most companies have a no return on helmet policy.
For exhaust?
It's pipes.
Oh, fuck. Never mind.
No, I figured out with the Milwaukee 8s, and you actually probably deal with this on your bike too, is the actual outlet of the exhaust where they actually bevel it in there to the gasket is like 1.25 inches and the actual exhaust port's 1.75. And so you take that beveled gasket out, you get the new exhaust, and it actually matches up with a port. And Harley already has the gaskets for it. It's like the performance. When you buy the performance parts, well, you have a CVO, don't you?
Mm-mm.
I thought yours was CVO.
No, I have a 117.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah.
No, I'm running the Vance and Hines Pro Pipe.
Oh,
for the
okay. So
Milwaukee Heat. So
so
it's a 2-1.
you've already got that upgrade to the exhaust, which I'm pretty burnt about right now, thinking about it. Oh, there it is. Wind Reaper had it. Senna Calvary. That is their half helmet. So I don't think I've ever actually asked Wigsley this, but what are your plans for the summer, man? For videos?
I think I want to do trips around Michigan and do kind of like travel videos. The lady and I want to do some camping in some state parks. I might try like motorcycle camping and documenting that. And then the typical like I do plan on doing something for the Ride for Heroes this year. Just later
Yeah.
in the year, obviously. It would actually be happening right around now if things weren't the way they are with the Iris V.
Oh, you already fucked me by saying it out loud.
Oh, I didn't say anything, but
What about COVID?
yeah,
Coronavirus?
whatever. So
You don't read your notifications, do you, Mick? You're allowed to still monetize and talk about it.
Oh, I didn't even. I in
I don't
passing
read
was
my
saying
notifications
things.
sometimes.
But yeah, just kind of like a little bit more focused on like travel videos and a little less on like technical stuff. I think.
So you down
one's
for
my
that?
path.
So you down with that UP trip then?
Oh yeah, I'll go to the UP. I'm down
Well,
with the UP.
what we're planning is doing a trip all the way from like starting here, riding up to the bridge, crossing, and then riding around the UP through all the mountains and everything, going to see Tukwamanon Falls, St. Ignace.
Yeah, I have family.
Hold on, we were gonna drive directly straight up to Mackinac, tunnel of trees, Petoskey, and just hit that edge of the state. It's beautiful out there. I mean, just absolutely mind-blowing beautiful.
Yeah.
Wasn't that bad.
This?
But yeah, man, like I definitely want to get a picture of my bike and just like I was gonna bring this up earlier. So going on Mackinac Island, they do not allow any motorcycles or any engine like petrol engines on there except for the fire department.
Right.
And emergency vehicles, whatever. But like in my mind, I was thinking of a funny moment where it was all of us up there on bicycles and like acting like the South Park video where it's like
Problem with that is pedaling a bicycle, my dude. That sounds like a lot of work.
They have electric ones up there.
It's actually quite nice, and you should probably wear your leathers and your helmet. That would be grand.
No, man, like I am I'm firmly excited about that trip. That's gonna be fun as hell. Dewey can't drag Roadblock up here to come have some fun.
When is it?
We don't know yet. We're figuring that out when we're actually gonna go because
best time to go up there is when the colors are changing.
I want to go up there and just be able to go
September, early October.
I want to go up there and like, yeah. I don't know because I was gonna go to Sturgis. We don't know if that's actually gonna happen. I mean, I'm not sure if it will or not. But and I brought that up by the way yesterday. No Sturgis equals no launch for Harley, like they want it to be. Because I think that's gonna be the first place you're gonna be able to ride the Pan America in the Bronx.
I don't know if you caught it on Harley-Davidson's website. The release date changed.
It did?
Yep.
It said coming in 2020. Now it says coming in 2021.
Of course it did. We can show.
So that tells me Harley already plans to not do a release this year.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're going to push it into Q1 of next year.
Oh man, what Matt was it? Was that still Matt Levidich with the mid-year release? Yeah. That shit sucked.
You guys saw the new CEO, right?
It's Joaquin Zeitz. I don't know. We'll see what he does. I mean, I wish I could see Harley work with more people outside of their normal realm, but we'll see what Joaquin does.
Well, Joaquin's a board member. He wasn't like an insider within Harley.
No, he's acting CEO. He got pulled up from the board for acting, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm just saying he's not from the motor company itself. Actually, I don't even know what his full background is.
Let's see. He did Puma, and
That's right. Yeah.
he actually started with I can't remember the other company. I did a whole video on Joaquin Zeitz. I had all the information in there about him. What he did, dude, he completely turned around. What is he drawing? He completely turned around Puma and made them one of the top brands. Dun 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 dun. But he definitely turned around Puma, which is, I don't know. Like I said, it's debate on what the actual thing, what the actual plan is for Harley. But his experience, I think, will help. But I still think they're focused too much on the Gen Xers than they are, anyone. Because, like you brought that up earlier, that the Bronx isn't going to be a rookie bike. It's going to be for more experienced riders.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see how the Pan America does. It'll be cool. But once again, it's like you guys talked about, it's going to be priced like a BMW. It has to be competing that field.
Yeah.
You would think and you would hope.
He's sick.
Yeah. I just think that Harley's going to do what Harley's going to do, and they're going to fuck up the pricing.
That's always their enemy. That is one of Harley's biggest enemies, is always their price. But I mean, what bothers me about that pricing, and I don't know if you guys, I don't think and you guys have ever talked about this, is they have their pricing, but they don't really address depreciation of a bike. The price of my bike, like the value of it plummeted since 2018, which sucks. But for the bike, like a 114 Milwaukee 8 Heritage Softail, to where it is now, it's almost, I would say, close to $10,000 depreciation. And when you're talking Harleys, like you talked about devaluing earlier, how does that look?
So I don't know if you could actually blame Harley for that.
No,
I would say the reason your Heritage has devalued that much would probably be because the market's saturated with them.
well, it's not. I'm not blaming Harley for that at all. I'm saying, like, but to take into account how, I mean, I didn't realize there was that many 18 plus Heritage Softails on the market.
Well, you don't take into consideration an 18. Well, when did the Milwaukee 8 go into the Heritage?
2000. I bought the first
Okay.
one from our dealership of that bike.
So 18, yeah, I mean, 2 model years behind now. People are going to upgrade. People are going to wreck them. People are just not going to like them and want to dump them.
Well, and I think we saw Harley kind of bow down to the people when they brought a 107 Chrome Heritage out, for the standard model, which I don't know if that was just cost saving at that point or if it was, them bending into pressures about people hating the fact that it being a Heritage, it didn't come with all the chrome, even though, if you look at the name of the bike, when you bought that, the bike it's based off of didn't come with chrome, it was an option.
I don't know. Harley's making changes. I'm cautiously optimistic.
I think that's how we all have to be, honestly.
a lot of people were trying to play down the whole COVID-19 thing. And I think what a lot of people are not realizing is that economically speaking, this is worse than the Great Depression. And that's having a massive effect today. But what's the ripple going to look like? And then we start looking into the fall where this will have an opportunity to come back and have a resurgence. I don't know, man. Different times. I think it's going to change how a lot of companies are going to conduct business. Manufacturing is tough in a great economy. Can you imagine what all these manufacturers are going through with this kind of economy right now?
I mean, we see it here with the big three. Like, I've got a lot of friends and people I know that when they shut down those factories, it hurts, man. Like, that's, and being able to come back from that and
honestly, this is, and remember, I'm from Texas.
Yep.
We're pretty anti-union down here, but this is a situation where the union is hopefully really paying off for those folks. Because I know a lot of people up there were getting furloughed, and that's tough as shit.
I think motorcycles are going to become more of a luxury than they've really ever been.
Well, I think Harleys have always sat in the luxury zone. If you just needed a motorcycle or just wanted a motorcycle, you would go for the cheapest one that fit you. But if you want a Harley, you're willing to pay for that luxury item. And Harley does still consider themselves a luxury brand.
So the question is, though, is if they start facing issues with financials, are they gonna keep making the same thing they are, or are we gonna see them go to less pricely manufactured parts?
I said it in the podcast. I'm still hoping we'll see it, but a scion of Harley. That's what I think they need. They need something where they can come in with aluminum frame motorcycles that can be stamped and built a lot cheaper than an all steel frame. And with this brand new modular motor that all their design team, minus the guy who did the flat tracker, but everything else that they're putting out looks amazing for it. And those are the bikes that would attract those 18 to 25-year-olds and get them into the Harley brand. But don't call it Harley-Davidson. Find a different brand.
I've yet to understand why Harley has against aluminum frames.
I don't know.
Because like that, look at the friggin' Challenger and the way they made it. It's a lot lighter than a Road Glide, or at least feels lighter than a Road Glide, the way it's balanced. And a lot of the parts on it are the aluminum versus the steel. So where that fit and finish cuts off, like you were talking about earlier, is also the cost of what it makes to manufacture that bike and what they can sell it for. Especially when the performance motor comes in all three levels of it. At that point, it's just what accessories do you want?
Right. No, I agree 100%. But if you look at like the Road Glide and the Road Glide Limited, or Road Glide Special, they are the same bike, just with an accessory package and a bolt-on engine upgrade.
They're actually completely different.
You know your own, like.
The stroke and everything of the 107 is completely different than the 114s. I found that one out the hard way. So the 107's got a 4-inch stroke, and the 114 has a 4.5. That's why they have the 124 and the 128 kits. Because I was about to order one, and they're like, "Oh, we don't have any of those ones in stock because you have to have this because of the stroke of your bike," which kind of bothers me because it doesn't have that same thing where it's like like you talked about, right? Having that same motor that can be put into different bikes is Indian doesn't rob you of that power right away. They give you the power plus 108. That's, their numbers are off of the crank. So they got some high numbers off the crank, but actually to the wheel is a lot different. But the way it puts down the power feels so much different. And I think Harley needs something like that where it's like, a single motor across multiple platforms of like a touring model. And that Revo motor they made for those bikes, I feel like could be upscaled kind of like between the Indian Scout and the actual Challenger.
So one comment to make about the feel of the motor. The motor on the Challenger and the motor in the Harley, completely different style motors.
Yeah.
So where on the Harley you're getting that torque, that initial kind of kick, but you don't get to feel it as long as you do on the Indian, where it has a great mid-range torque and it just holds it. And it can hold it for a lot longer. And that power is being propelled through the heightened horsepower from having the water-cooled motor.
I will say that it did feel, the torque-wise, the way it was actually put to the ground felt different than my Heritage. Because my Heritage will put you back and you have to hold on tight. Mm-hmm. That one seemed more level-headed on the takeoff, but you could feel it pulling.
Yeah. And I don't know if that has something to do with the ride command system that they have on there. Yeah. With all the different ride modes and stuff.
Sport is insane on that bike. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, but bikes like that where they have that single modular thing. I think that's why the Dyna itself, as much as some people hate it and other people love it, I think that's why it did so good, was because you had that same kind of motor that had some good power for the size of the bike across the whole lineup. It wasn't like, oh, you could have the 96 or the 103 as an upgrade. It just depended on the year. They had one of the powerful motors in there. And then they had like the 117 tire shredder kits and the 110 kits, like on the Lowrider S, which, 110 or 117, depending on which person went with. But I think they need something like that for like the touring models, and I guess for the actual or what do you want to call them? Really cruisers, I guess. But I don't think they have it, and I don't know if that's something with that new rewire program they're looking at doing.
I have a feeling with rewire, we're not going to see anything super new that's not already in the pipeline.
But could they bring back a Dyna style bike? That's my question. Is that something they could do?
Why would they, when they've already retooled their entire assembly lines to go Softail? And by the way, they closed the assembly line that made the Dyna.
Well, no, not the Dyna itself, but like that kind of more sporty cruiser. Like you're not going to take a regular Softail and go out and just, I'm going to wheelie it. It's the Dynas had the lift, had the clearance, had the, you could turn them into something that you could stunt, and you can't really stunt any of Harley's other, I guess you can, some of the guys do. But kids want to do stunts. Like the one thing that people always say when they see a motorcycle is, can you do a wheelie? Or can you do a burnout? And I don't know if you've ever taken your Rogue Glide Ultra and been like, yeah, let me just pop a wheelie right here.
Actually. Pissed my wife off.
That's a lot of bike to wheelie. And I feel like that's something that was really, I think that's why the Dynas picked up steam, is because kids, you can get them and then you can stunt them if you wanted to, or else you got that club style. It's just that way of life, that culture. And that's always something that curses Harley too, is their culture. Like people like Todd and Karens.
I don't know. I think at the end of the day, when you start looking at what's going to pull Harley out of the slump, it's going to be these new models they're releasing.
Now, do you think
that custom? I want to see what they're going to do with that. I would love to see a V-Rod style motorcycle come back out, but with a fat front end. And that custom kind of scratches that itch a little bit.
it does? But
Yeah, but you don't see the FXDR as being their attempt at that.
No. I think the FXDR was kind of their jump against the FTR. Something sportier, something more race inspired, something that they can go and enjoy around the twisties.
Yeah.
I think that's what ultimately pushed the FXDR into production.
I always just saw it as the replacement for the CVO breakout.
Yeah.
I mean, it's generally what it is already. That's the unfortunate part is.
I kind of see it as their version of a wide glide Dyna.
I could see that.
Raked out front end.
Yeah.
More of that sportier feel to it.
I feel horrible admitting this, but I feel like the Sport Glide was their attempt at doing like a Dyna switchback, but they didn't want to say that out loud, and it just flopped. Like,
the problem is that the fairing mount system on that was actually brilliant, but the stupid ass fairing that they put on it is A, ugly, and B, no other fairing options exist with that exact mounting setup. So you're stuck with that.
So you're stuck without a fairing.
So you're stuck.
Like, could you imagine being able to take off your fairing or windshield and put it in your saddlebag and ride away?
It'd be a different story, dude, if they had.
Dude, that would be absolutely magical.
If paying extra to get like quick takeoff bags, you gotta put real bags on the thing. You could hold a hoodie in one of those.
Yeah, those clamshells suck.
Yeah.
I feel like they could have did a way better job because I mean the Dyna switchback, I feel like kind of if they were going to the Softail line got replaced by the Heritage, or I guess if they because that's why they won't make one, like specifically. But yeah, I think that that bike is just I don't understand. Like I've got a Batwing fairing, guys. This fits in your two fucking hands.
Titsy bitsy.
No, and then it's like you act cool on that thing, like bless you.
Rona.
Bless you.
If I had one bike, like if I let's say I was rich and like you could buy whatever bike you wanted, and I was looking to do something like that, honestly, I would probably buy one of Matt Laidlaw's versions of that bike. The Coast Glides.
Yeah, those are cool. But by the time they're done, they're not that bike. That's the thing about it is you could do that to most of the bikes in the Softail lineup.
It's like a weird FXRT / switchback weird. I don't know.
The new Fat Bob, the rectangle headlight deal on it, I was not a fan of really. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But it's grown on me. Seeing Steve, do the club style thing on the front of it and seeing the exhaust mocked up and stuff. I mean, that exhaust that comes on that thing stock is hideous, but I think that bike takes it for the Softails.
I don't know. That fairing you put on there makes me giggle.
It's cute.
It looks like they put the fairing on and then you got like this 6-inch windshield that just cuts off. And I'm just like, it looks like it's missing something. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Harley could do better. It just depends on what they do. Oh shit!
I'm not a fan of the square headlight either.
I think it's nice. I think it's a cool, refreshing look to the bike to add kind of a sportier thing. At the same time, you know, we're always gonna piss off the traditional Harley guys, just like what I did with my Heritage, blacking it out and stuff. Or you get you got the fat spoke wheels, you could do the cholo look. I'm like, why? Why is that a thing? Why is the Heritage gotten ruined for me by that? I like a Sport Glide. What? Wind Reaper. I like the Sport Glide, but I've never seen one in real life. You've seriously never seen a Sport Glide in real life? Damn.
He clearly, he or she, I don't know, clearly lives somewhere where they have good taste.
Yeah.
Can't blame him for not seeing one in real life. Good for
only-
you, Reaper. Good for you.
I can only imagine, like, hey guys, I bought a brand new motorcycle. I got a Sport Glide. And like, why? Why'd you get a Sport Glide? What's the point of that?
The
I get
financing was great.
The internet. He says good night. Yeah,
Good night.
I think I'm gonna do that too, man. I think I'm gonna cut it off right here. We've been going for 2 hours and 20 minutes. And I normally allot 2 hours to this at max. Yeah, I appreciate everyone for stopping in and checking out on the live stream. We'll do it again next week at the same time, 6:30. And I'm typing and I can't talk. I type at the same time. I suck. So, as always, and hopefully I will have the Heritage Wheel video out this Tuesday. I'm hoping. And as always, I hope you have a great day, evening, night, morning, afternoon tea, brunch, lunch, nightcap, midnight snack, crumpet, McGriddle, bacon sandwich, and remember to always ride for freedom. And fuck that guy. Yay.